Hi, I'm Jamie Hargrove, and I'm an estate planning attorney and been doing this for almost 35 years. And I want to talk first off a little bit about a living will declaration, sometimes called an advance directive. Now, as you may have already heard from Stan, this is a document that only about 26% of the population in the U.S. actually possess. It's a document that even those that possess it, sometimes it's still a problem. And I'm going to tell you why. So if you don't have the document, it's a problem. It's a problem to your family, and then you're going to create a problem, probably a significant problem at some point for your family. And I know you don't want that. So you need a living will declaration. Now, let's say you have a living will declaration. It may still be a problem, and here's why. So what I want to talk about is, if you have a living will declaration, why would that be a problem? Well, here's the problem. The problem is you probably didn't do it with a conversation. And that's what I want to talk about, is doing a living will declaration, an advance directive, with a conversation. Not only a conversation with someone that's going to help you make decisions regarding your advance directive, but a conversation with your family. So here's what happens. I've been a lawyer now for almost 35 years. And when people come to me to do estate planning, they're usually talking about their kids and their grandkids and their spouse and trusts and avoiding probate and all those important things, and they are important. But too often, one of the most important documents, that advance directive or living will declaration, is almost an afterthought. It's a, oh, by the way, sign here. What's that? Oh, it's a pull the plug document. Oh my, oh, I don't want that. And that's the conversation. It has to be more of a conversation than that. And it's got to be more of a conversation with your family. You've probably not had the discussion with your family. So here's what happens. Somewhere you've made the document, you've signed the document, but here's the problem. 5 years later, 2 years later, maybe only 2 months later, someone in your family is going to say, it's no good. We never talked about it. I can't believe that's what Mom wanted. I can't believe that's what Dad would have never signed that if he really knew what he was signing. How did that document get signed? And of course, how did it get signed? With very little conversation, with very little thought. And that's the problem. So even if you have one, think about this. Think about getting a new one, and this time let's have a conversation. And let's have a conversation about what it means, what you really want to happen, and more importantly, what you can do to help your family be involved in that process and make sure your wishes are known to your family. They need to know. They want to know. This needs to be a family-involved situation. So I ask you, do you have a living will declaration? Do you really have one that came with a conversation? Either way, let's do one now and let's have a conversation.